if you are somebody who is into ISO 9001, if you're someone who's a beginner, welcome to the latest webinar here at Best Practice TV on ISO 9001 for beginners. It's a topic that is obviously quite popular. We've had over 140 people register for this today for the live event. So welcome to everybody. Hope you've been able to click through. What you can do later on is you can go back and you can record that. So I'm just going to wait for a couple more people to come on board. I've got two great people here helping us in the studio right now. I've got obviously Vanessa and I've got Luke helping me. Just a quick question. We didn't change the link, did we, at all? When you redid the YouTube to go live? Potentially. So let me just quickly...
yeah, it is different.
It's different. Okay. So...
Did you make a new one?
Yeah, I had to.
It's all right. Mine. Command, hang on, stand by, copy.
If you just say, I'm going to change it now. The email, I don't want to be emailed them differently. I'll send out an email.
We have 4 people. Hey everybody, we just got a couple of technical difficulties. Again, this is live webinars here at Best Practice when we're trying to run this technology. So we have got 5 people online, which is all of our YouTube subscribers. So welcome. Hey guys, right now I'm running a live webinar for you guys on it's a beginner's guide to ISO 9001. I've got some great resources here. I've obviously got the ISO 9001 standard. Is this phone on as well? This one up here, that's going. Okay, so I've got the ISO 9001 standard here. So for those of you that follow us on YouTube, thanks very much for joining us. I'm going to be going through Beginner's Guide to ISO 9001 today in a lot of detail. So I've got a copy of the standard. You can purchase hard copies of the ISO 9001 standard from our web store here at Best Practice. We just give them to you guys. We sell them to you guys at cost. And a little bit of extra cost there for the shipping, but it's not something that we're making profit on. So if you can't get hold of a hard copy, please do so. We're not allowed to sell soft copies, unfortunately. There's different ISO providers that have got that market locked up. We're lobbying pretty hard to be able to let you guys in on the soft copy stuff. But what you can do is you can purchase you can download for free our ISO 9001 gap analysis checklist. And that's got most of the standard in the form of questions. So if you can follow the gap analysis checklist, you can get yourself 99.96% of the way through the ISO 9001 standard using our checklists. So we're obviously not going to breach copyright there, but you can do that. So we're just getting a few technical issues solved. We've got 150 people, I think, now registered for this live event. There's lots of technology here. I've got cameras everywhere. We're live on Instagram, live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn. So if you're not following me on LinkedIn, my name's Kobe Simat. For those of you that have been following the YouTube channel for a while, you'll know that already. If you haven't sent me a LinkedIn connection invitation, please do so. Do that today. I've got my phone right here. So if you send me a message on LinkedIn right now, find me, search at Kobe Simat, send me a message. Then you can, we'll get your question on. So I'm here to answer your questions for the next hour. We're going to be going through details on setting yourself up with an ISO 9001 management system. I'm going to tell you from my 25 years of experience in this industry what to focus on, what are the most important parts of your management system. I want to help you guys to stop doing things that are not necessary or not important or don't add a huge amount of value to your organization. It's really easy to get buried in the simple administrative stuff with an ISO management system and not focus on the most important components. There are a couple of key levers in ISO 9001. When you pull those really hard, they have a massive impact on positive growth in your organization. But if you bog yourself down in day-to-day administration and just react, then you're going to see that management system just cause yourself and everybody around you frustration, and it'll give your quality management system a bad name. It will equal the word bureaucracy and yuck for the organization. Yuck's the best word that I can use for you guys today. So I want to answer your questions. I know there's a bunch of you guys watching right now that have been following Best Practice for a while. You've got me live right now. The best place to get me with a message, there's obviously chat and comments. Beside, if you're watching live on YouTube, you can ask your comments there on YouTube. equally, so Vanessa and Luke are monitoring comments. I can see them on my screen here on the monitor in front of me as well. But alternatively, a live message on LinkedIn. I want you to send me a message on LinkedIn, send me a connection invitation on LinkedIn, and send me a message. That is the best way. If you've ever got any questions or challenges, I don't want you to sit there stuck on a particular hurdle. Anything to do with your organization, systems, process, even sales and marketing, getting engagement from senior management, understanding, what you need to do, what to prioritize on. I don't want you guys to sit there at your desk and be stuck. I want you to reach out to me, and there's sometimes I can just give you a little bit of guidance in a quick 2-minute message that's going to unstick you. And that's how I want to help you guys. Look, I'm a CEO. I've got a team. I've got a team of executives. There's a very noisy CRO in the office right next to me in a meeting with one of the directors of one of our other brands. I can hear that meeting going on in the background. We're running a business here just like the businesses that you guys are working in. And so I'm trying to use that. I'm trying to take the senior management position and give you guys access to me so we can do that. So just a quick shout out. There's been a new lift in our website, bestpractice.biz. So if you want to jump on, open another tab there and bookmark bestpractice.biz, you'll see our other brands, and you can check out what's going on. We have a recruitment business, which is real. We've worked out and figured out the winning formula for recruitment in terms of finding great people, setting great positions for people, and finding great people. And our recruitment business, Best Practice Talent, is going really well. So if you want to work with a really professional set of recruiters that are very focused on you and your organization, and then bringing great members into your team, much the side as building a World Cup football team. That's the approach we take. We're building teams and we're helping you build teams. So we are talent scouts and recruiters and headhunters, and that's how we focus on our recruitment strategy. We've done that for our own business to find and win great talent in our own business. We'll help you do that. So that's Best Practice Talent. Then we've got our business coaching team, Next Practice. They'll help you revolutionize your strategy and what you're doing. You want me closer to the microphone? Okay, so let's get into the content. So for those of you who, I apologize, I'm starting a little bit late with this webinar because we had a little technical issue with the link. So quick shout out. Hello, Hernando. Thanks for saying g'day. Hello, g'day as it is here in Australia, or hello. So for those of you guys watching, let me know where you're watching from. I'm always really excited to hear where everybody is. Let's get those comments going. I've got the dashboard here. So g'day, Hernando. I know there's a couple of other people who can't comment, but please go ahead. I've got the dashboard there. Send me a direct message on LinkedIn if you don't want the sort of shout out there on YouTube, and I can answer questions. We sent out an email with a phone number to text. The best way to run these webinars to give you the most amount of value is if I just answer your questions. I've obviously got content and the beginner's guide to ISO 9001, and I'm going to cover that for you. But I want you guys to be, asking me the questions. That's where you're going to get a huge amount of value. There is a text number. Perla, hello from Dallas. Hey, Barbara from Virginia. Hey, Southerly Designs from Port Denison. Is that Port Denison or Fort Denison? WA, Port Denison. Welcome, everybody. So all over the world already. So I love having you guys on board. Let me know where you're watching from and get those questions. So Vanessa has circulated. She's going to post a text number. It's going to have a +61 in front of it. So you need to dial your international dialing code. Hey from Brazil. So Hernando is in Brazil. Welcome. So hey guys, we're going to send a phone number. Vanessa's going to paste it in the comments. It's got a +61 in front of it. Put your international dialing code. I think for Australia it's 0011. But Vanessa's going to post that. Hey Clint from Bris Vegas in Australia. Welcome. So Vanessa's going to post a phone number. That's a text number. So you can send us an SMS text message. If you're on an Apple product, it'll come in as an iMessage. I'm going to call you guys. If you've got a question and you want me to shout out, you want me to answer your question, I will call you guys. Vanessa's going to choose people. She's going to call you. So she's going to give you a text number in the comments there. So look for the comment from @BestPractice, and we'll do that. So Andrew, hey Andrew, thank you. I see your handle there, Subtly Designed. So please let me know where you're watching from. For you guys that are watching, Geraldton. Hey Wayne from Geraldton. We've got people from everywhere today. Our time zones all over the place. Hey, thanks very much if you've stayed up late and it's the middle of the night for you to watch this live event. Hey Jenny from Melbourne. Everybody's from everywhere today. This is really exciting. Okay, let me get into some content. Vanessa's going to send out that number. She's just working at the moment to try and do that. Are you able to get in there? Okay, so can you post it in the comments so I can see it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to take me a little. All right, there we go. There's the text number. So you're calling a cell number in Australia. You're texting a cell number in Australia. There's the number, +61 429 183 562. Aman, I need to talk to you today. I'm going to call you and say hello and have a quick catch up. Everything's good, but Aman, thank you I owe you a phone call to say hello, and I'll give you a virtual cuddle or hug, a bromance hug, Aman. Fantastic. That phone number is +61 429 183 562. Shoot a text message with your questions there, and I'm going to call you guys. You can ask me that question, and we'll get that Q&A going so I can give you guys the most amount of help. Let's get into it. Okay, I said I'd give you ISO 9001 for beginners, so welcome everybody. Big group of people today, and I appreciate everybody's dedicated your time. So I want you guys on board today, and I'm going to ask you a question. So if you've got specific ISO 9001 questions, please get those ready. You can comment there. I can see the comments there on the dashboard. But what I've got for you, we produced, for those of you watching on YouTube, I apologize for those of you listening to the podcast, there's an ebook that we put together, which is implementing a management system. College Station in Texas. Hello, Darren. This ebook that we put together, which is implementing a management system, it's something that I put together about 7 or 8 months ago. You can purchase this in our online store. It's really the shortcut. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this with you today, and I'm going to just talk to you about like the beginner's guide. So before I get into that, I'm just going to read you a couple of definitions. ISO 9001, you guys want to know the nuts and bolts of it. This is the secret sauce. This ebook I've written, the secret sauce to implement a really valuable management system that's going to help implement the business plan in your organization. What I need you guys to remember, that in a nutshell, it really simple, and I apologize for talking analogies, but really simply, ISO 9001 is the management system that gets structured to deliver the promises you make to your customers. So as an organization, we all have customers. Even if we're a government department or a not-for-profit, we have customers and we make promises. Hey, I'm getting some LinkedIn messages. This is fantastic. So if you guys want to send questions, send them through to me in a direct message on LinkedIn. You've got 3 places: direct message on LinkedIn, texting +61 429 183 562, and Vanessa's monitoring that number so you can text your questions through there, and I will call you shortly. We'll get some live people on and we'll have a live Q&A. ISO 9001 is the management system to help you implement the promises you make to your customers. So what are the promises? What are the promises, the benefits, the features, those things that you've got of your organization that you're making in your brochures, on your website, in your social media to your clients? This management system is about, first and foremost, delivering that. If you promised a blue cup, at a particular time for a particular price, building systems and processes into your organization so that you can deliver that, your organization can deliver that promise, then your marketing sets the expectation out in the marketplace. Your sales team and your business development team go and do the deal, and that could be a website now with e-commerce. And then you want to make sure that you deliver that promise to the customer. You want to deliver the product or service that you promised. The systems and processes that you build in your organization should be specifically focused on that. And then the training and competency and the people management side of your business specifically focused. That's what we do every day. We rally ourselves to deliver the promise to the customer. The second promise we'll make is to other stakeholders, to our staff. We want to have great culture. To our shareholders, we want to deliver dividends. We want to be a great organization for the rest of the market. We want to be a good corporate citizen. The system's about delivering those things, delivering those commitments, those promises. And so when we know that and we focus on that, everything becomes really easy with ISO 9001. But if we're not focused on what are we saying to the marketplace, what are we promising, then we can get bogged down in administration. So the beginner's guide to ISO 9001 is have a look at your marketing materials and what do you promise to the market. Don't go pick up rulers and measures and scales and weights and equipment in the factory first. That is the wrong approach for a beginner to look at ISO 9001. The first approach from a beginner's perspective is to go into the marketing department and into the sales department and lean in to the relationships that are being made with customers, key accounts. Go out and see your top 3 customers and say, hey, what do you want from us? Because the ISO 9001 quality management system is there to support that process. Quality here, quality management system, is subjective if you discuss it internally in your organization, but the real comments come from what comes out of your customer's mouth, the feedback that your customers give you. Build your flowcharts, your process, your training specifically focused on that. So let me just quickly talk about some of the definitions. So introduction, the adoption of a quality management system is a strategic decision for an organization that can help to improve its overall performance and provide a sound basis for sustainable development initiatives. So overall performance is subjective. Who's measuring the performance? Who's watching the performance? It's the customer. You don't exist without the customer. It's about revenue coming into the organization. And we know that from a word of mouth perspective that we're going to get, hey in Texas, lots of people from Texas today. Welcome everybody from Texas. From Baytown in Texas. Hey, Stephen. So let me know where you're watching from in the comments. So it's the strategic decision to implement this system to improve your overall performance. The potential benefits to an organization from a quality management systems perspective is the ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. That's it. It's A. It's like in 0.1 general, introduction, 0.1A, the ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. Standard says requirements. I say promises. Focus on the promises you make to your customers, and then the implied promises, the marketplace promise, standards, guidelines, international guidelines, size, shape, dimensions. If you're building motor vehicles, if you're building spaceships, rockets, bullets, propellers, if you're providing customer service, call centers, support services, counseling services, construction, you're building buildings, you're a contractor, all those things, you're making cups, widgets, you're providing coaching services, all those sorts of things. It's about setting those expectations for customers, or it's about actually listening to the customer and getting the return brief. So welcome everybody that's just come on board. Let me know where you're watching from. We've got the comments there. Georgetown in Guyana. So my apologies for that. But hey everybody that's watching. Hey, Martin. So let me know where you're watching. Oscar, welcome from Australia. So let me know where you're watching from. I'm always really excited to see everybody from around the world. This is great. We're all like-minded individuals today. We've got 140, 150 people, I think, registered for this event. So welcome everybody that's watching. It's one of our bigger webinars so far that's live. So I'm getting some LinkedIn messages if you want to get to me. So just shoot me. I'll go through. So Danielle, I'm going to go through section 9.3 for you. And we'll have a talk about that. So I'll get to that. So just giving you this introduction, I want you guys to just focus on, this is in the preamble before the standard even starts. We want to facilitate opportunities to enhance customer satisfaction. Of course we do. The words I use here are surprise and delight. How can we surprise and delight our customers? What flowchart do we need? What process do we need? What do we need to implement in our organization to surprise and delight our customers? The focus of your quality system, the number one promise that your quality system should be making is to surprise and delight your customers, and focus on those things. So when we start talking about internal audits, management review, strategic objectives and targets, you can go through the standard, read the ISO 9001 standard, look at the documentation, follow our ebooks and say, okay, what objectives do we need to set to surprise and delight our customers? When I'm doing an internal audit, in the organization, I'm going to look for opportunities to surprise and delight our customers. Look for opportunities to improve our organization. Look for opportunities where our process causes friction for our customer. Where do we cause frustration for our customer? What complaints do we get? When you get complaints, it's an indicator that you've got a problem in one of your flowcharts. You've got a corporate policy that creates friction for your customers. Is everybody with me? Let me know if this is resonating with you guys, because today is about like going back to first principles. We're pitching it as the beginner's guide webinar for ISO 9001, and it's this foundation work. We get too bogged down in the numbers. Like, a couple of the questions that are coming through is like, what is clause, the different clause numbers of the standard. I need you guys, I just want to make sure we're all together on this in the same journey. So we got to go back to the beginning we got to go slow to go fast. I can help you go really fast with the standard. I can make this thing lean. I can, we've done hundreds of thousands of management systems around the world now. We're a registrar and a certifier. Our foundation business here at Best Practice is we are an ISO 9001 registrar. Over 80% of our customers, we go and audit them. One of our biggest teams at Best Practice here is auditing ISO 9001 and issuing IAF accredited certificates. A lot of people don't realize that. They think, I'm a consultant. Yes, I am. That's what I do, but I don't do one-on-one consulting projects. I do that for free. I don't charge for my consulting services. You get that free through our webinars. We have an auditing team, a recruitment team, and a coaching team. We have business coaches that really help people take their organizations to the next level using foundations of management systems like ISO 9001. So that's what we do. So you understand what I sell, but this is about me giving you this for free. And we've got to go back to those foundation principles. It is not the intent of this international standard to imply the need for uniformity in the structure of different management systems. It is not the intent to have alignment of documentation to the clause structure of this standard. And it is not the intent to use the specific terminology of this international standard within the organization. So I'm going to reframe that. Kobe says, do not have a numbering system in your management system that matches the standard. Do not align documentation in your company to the numbering system of the standard. Do not use the terminology from the standard. Do not. The beginner's guide in the middle of the first page of the standard, it says, do not do these things. It's not the intent. The intent of this standard is to help you guys deliver those promises to your customers and deliver surprise and delight. And we miss that all the time. The industries miss that. When we go to if you have got auditors coming into your organization that are external and they're talking to you about numbers, like put them in touch with this YouTube channel so that I can help them improve what we're meant to be doing. This is about improving marketplaces, improving performance, and showing that organizations with ISO 9001 sit a level above, at an international standard, a level above everybody else. You are quality organizations. You are the best in the world. This is about pushing to the highest standard. You guys are all competitors in the World Cup. Everybody else that doesn't have ISO 9001, and I don't care whether you've got different ISO providers for your certification or training or whatever, but we are in the global game. There's 1.8 million companies globally with ISO 9001 certification under the IAF accreditation. That's the one that's endorsed by the UN. You got IAF, and then in different regions you have different accreditation bodies, but we're all under the International Accreditation Forum, or the IAF. You can do Googling to find that out. Southerly Design's document numbering system in line with the standard makes a fair bit of sense to me when starting from scratch. It does, but I disagree. Please don't do that. Follow this system. Get yourself a copy of this ebook that I've got and follow this. I'm going to go through that with you right now. It makes sense because it gives you a map, but just a recommendation. Sorry, I'll just scroll quickly on these comments. I think it was it Stephen at Southerly? Andrew at Southerly Designs. So we don't want to upset our business by talking numbers because we're trying to have our business learn another language. So we get distracted learning another language instead of focusing on our customers. Please don't learn another language. Daytona Beach, Florida, welcome. Congratulations on passing your assessment. So this ebook that I put together, I have actually mapped out how to actually set up a management system. I'll just put this in front of the screen. If you're really smart with technology, quickly do a screenshot. That's the contents page, or come back to this timestamp in the webinar. But I'm going to go through this now. So we'll post an image of that so you guys can see what the contents are. You can purchase this ebook in our training store. Look, it's in terms of, you can pay $25,000 or $30,000 or $50,000 to our consulting team, or you can pay, I think it's $100. It's $200. It's $200 in the store for this. We might try and work out a discount code, but I want you guys to get this. It's $200. It's half an hour's worth of a $400 an hour consultant to give you all of the gold that I've developed over the last 25 years. The first thing that we want to be focusing on is your why. Now that's your vision, your purpose. If you're not across Simon Sinek's work, Simon Sinek's got a bunch of great books. I've got them here in the studio, up on my shelf. Together is Better, Start with Why, Find Your Why, Leaders Eat Last. Those are some of his recent books that are here in my library. But the work Start With Why by Simon Sinek. He's got a viral YouTube TED Talk. I want you to go check that out and talk about Start With Why. When you're starting your management system, Andrew, this is the place to start. Management review. Go straight to the back of the standard and start coaching your organization, your business, your team, your executives to follow and use management review. That's rule number one when we're starting ISO 9001. This is the beginner's guide. This is the successful way to implement this. If you start in other places like writing documentation, you will just piss everybody off. I've seen this hundreds of thousands of times. Whether we do business or not, I know it's simple to start. Like, yes, you can read the standard, but don't tell anybody. Don't ask your business to learn another language. Please, the first thing to do is start implementation. Don't start documentation. Start implementing management review on a monthly basis. And then my expectation is that you do management reviews quarterly. In the modern corporate world, these things that I'm talking about are QBRs or quarterly business reviews. Your executive team will already be doing this. If they are a good business and they're going to survive and they're growing and they're successful, they were doing quarterly business reviews. If you are a listed company in the S&P 500 on Wall Street or the ASX 200 here in Australia on the Australian Stock Exchange, you are doing quarterly business reviews because that is what big successful businesses do. The standard said we better do management review. What it didn't clearly prescribe was that you do it quarterly. So I don't want you to cause your business to duplicate things. Good businesses do quarterly business reviews. Really good businesses have executive teams meeting monthly and looking at the monthly numbers, probably monthly or bi-monthly board meetings. That's the intent of the standard. It's not about doing something different. Don't hide your quality management system somewhere out in the corner of the organization. Start with management review. Out of management review, we start talking about issues that we have, things we need to solve. We're going to identify these issues, we're going to discuss them, and we're going to solve them. We're going to implement controls and solutions. So out of those quarterly business reviews, out of business reviews, you're going to have actions. This is just good business, whether you're certified or not, or registered or not, whether you have a certification company or registrar. That's what we do here to help you guys with that. Oscar, you can get the book in the comments there. Vanessa's posted the link to get you guys the copy of that ebook. We're going to have then an issues list. I want you to start tracking the minutes of those meetings. Don't make it too complicated. Don't make it too formal, but issues list. So then those issues can get discussed, solved, and we can improve the organization. And we're going to keep circling back. That is the simplest form of a management system. Have the sessions, have the discussions, identify the issues, and then start actually going through that. Congrats, Oscar's picked up the link. He's got it. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Oscar. So once we've done our management reviews and our issues list, then we can start working on our strategic plan. There's plenty of great books on strategy. I just so happen to have from a session I did yesterday, a bunch of books on my desk on strategy. In fact, this is what I've been traveling around the world lately. The Harvard Business Review's current edition of their magazine, stuff on strategy. Sahar Hashimi's book, Startup Forever, How to Build a Startup Culture in a Big Company Forever. So strategy, having your strategic plan, your business plan is the next thing. It's a one-page business plan if you can get to that. These books that are just on my desk, not that one. Listen, Innovate, Grow, which is Michael Haynes' book. Michael Haynes is speaking at our big conference that we're running in exactly 2 weeks' time. If you're from Australia or anywhere, we've got a huge conference happening on the 26th and 27th of February in Sydney. We're an early time zone in the world, so that for those of you guys in the US, that'll be, we'll be kicking that off on the 25th. I'd love you guys to be there. If you can get yourselves to Australia in the next 2 weeks, get yourselves to that conference, and I will look after you like my VIP guest. If you got anybody traveling internationally to the conference, I hope to see you there. I will make myself available for two days for you guys. So Listen, Innovate, Grow, Michael Haynes' book, excellent book on strategy, customers, focusing on the market. The Harvard Business Review, the 10 must reads. So the definitive management ideas of the year from Harvard Business Review. Management, we're talking about a quality management system. We look to the Harvard Business Review for management reviews. And then the last book is Blue Ocean Strategy, an excellent book on strategy. So it's about building the business plan. I'm writing another book, ebook for our conference. It's going to be given to everybody at our conference. It'll eventually be available online in an ebook, but I'm writing that. We're getting it ready for 2 weeks from now. That's my resources. I've got, and then one last one. Happy to be here in the studio, beyond the hockey stick. So that's the resourcing type stuff that I've put into this. That's the stuff that I lean on. They're the playbooks that I have here to understand, and this particular one, Beyond the Hockey Stick, is by McKinsey and Company, one of the really big strategy firms globally. Let me just summarize this for you guys. So your why, your management review, your issues list, your strategic plan, then your dashboard. So I will get to clauses of the standard, but I hope what you can understand here is that I want to set you guys up for success. It's very easy to get a copy of the standard, sit at your desk day after day, month after month, wheel spinning to get a quality management system going. And my feedback is from all of the comments that have been made. We've been doing these YouTube videos for 5 years. We're celebrating our 5-year anniversary this month of these webinars. We've been doing them monthly like this live for 5 years. And all of the comments and all of the questions, someone from Mongolia, hello. Who is the author of Blue Ocean Strategy? Chan Kim and Renee Morborn. Screenshot that if you need it. Over here, Luke's telling me different camera. Over here, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. There we go. We've got 3 cameras running. We're live on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn right now. You can always send me a message, but do a quick Google search, Blue Ocean Strategy. Okay, excellent. Oscar's got it. You guys, ask the questions. Dominate this content section, the comment section. Dominate it. Like be selfish. Excellent. You guys someone's already got Blue Ocean Strategy. This is, use that section right there. You've got it as a resource. The next thing is dashboard. So your dashboard of performance. So the best practice logo is a performance over time graph. Haven't got one right now that I can show you, but the best practice performance over time graph. Like, have you got a clear picture of your organization's performance? How do you guys get a clear picture of your organization's performance? I want you to think about that, because then we got to build the dashboard. How does the customer measure us on performance? We said we want to deliver our promise to our customer. We want to surprise and delight our customer. How are they measuring us? So you want to have a customer measure. Here at Best Practice, the top measure of our quality management system is Net Promoter Score, our NPS, Net Promoter Score. If you're not running Net Promoter Score in your organization, please start doing that right now. Get your Net Promoter Score survey out to your customers. Stop asking your customers to fill out a customer feedback form. I'm a really busy person. I fill my day from like 5 a.m. in the morning. This morning I was up at 3:30 sending emails, doing stuff at 3:30. That's all got bags under my eyes. I'm like really busy. My mechanic sends me a form and says, could you please fill me out a feedback form on my service? That pisses me off. It's like, dude, find a better way. I'm busy. That's why I can service my car myself, but I pay you because I don't have time. Be careful. If you are sending feedback forms out to your customer, I guarantee that some of your customers will be pissed off about that. It's just reality. It's an old school methodology. It's not effective, and it causes friction. Find a better way, and a really simple way is to ask one question. How likely are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to recommend best practice? How likely are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to recommend best practice? In fact, do me a favor, comment. How likely are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to tell one of your friends, colleagues, or family about this YouTube channel, that it's helpful? Now, if you guys give me anything less than an 8, I've got to fucking fix my game. Excuse my cussing. I've got to up my game. So I want you to think about that. I'll get to those comments. I can see them there. I'll get to them in a second. So dashboard, we want to then map our customer journey. This is where your flowcharts can start to come in. Great training tool. Thank you. I like the 10, but I still need to improve. So how likely are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to recommend us here at Best Practice? That's our Net Promoter Score. There's some science behind NPS, but if you're starting to get 7s or 6s or 5s, you got some work to do. So I want you to look at Net Promoter Score, the top of your management system. I appreciate everybody's comments there. Flowcharts, stakeholder analysis, org chart, internal register of training, internal audits, compliance obligations and legislation and contracts and international standards, and then operational controls. That's what this ebook goes through. So what I want to do, I want to get into some clauses of the standard. I want to help you guys with this, with clauses of the standard. But there you go. If you read the comments there that are coming through on YouTube, you can see people giving us a 10. I really appreciate that. I really love everybody. There's a 9. Excellent. Tell me about the 9. I'm going to say, okay, what can I improve? For you, I want to know what I can improve. Maybe the YouTube channel needs to be in your native language. We're working on that. Maybe that's going to be more effective. Maybe I need to stop swearing. Give me some, for the person that gave me a 9, give me a suggestion. What can I do to improve for you so that this is a better experience for you? So that 9 is like, it's not a 10. And even the 10s, is there something more or some small thing that I could improve that makes your life better, your life easier? Let me know. Do I do too much? Do I do not enough? Do you want more focused content? So one thing I want you guys to know is that obviously we do these free webinars. We have a whole bunch of training courses in the Training Academy. There's an ISO 9001 training course. You can jump on, you can purchase that course. You can do it at your own pace. Click the buttons, follow through. It gives you a little automated certificate at the end. There's a course on ISO 9001 with some notes. There's a course on ISO 45001 OH&S. There's a course on 14001. There's an internal auditors course, excellent internal auditors course that we put together. You can purchase all those courses. So this is all free, and I lightly touch on things, but if you want the in-depth how to go through ISO 9001, there's a great course, and Vanessa will post the link there to those courses. I want to give you this stuff for free so it's not a blockage, but if you want the extreme detail, you've got to pay for it because we've put a lot of effort into that stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to do that training, particularly the internal auditor course, Vanessa's just posted the link. So let's go through the standard. I'm just going to ask, I've got some questions there. Have we got any text messages? No, you've answered them? Okay, so does anybody, I'm going to call a couple of people. Let me just have a look at those text messages. So if you haven't got the text number, I'll just read it out to you. So if you guys want me to call you and answer your question, I'm not just going to randomly call. I'll only call you if you want a phone call, but we'll do that live while we're right now. Is +61 429 183 562. I think it's 0011 +61 429 183 562. 0011 61 429 183 562. It's in the comments. Do your international dialing code for Australia is 0011. Send us a text message, and if you want to come live and I'll answer your question, we have a discussion. We get some great content out of that. We're going to be doing that in all of our webinars and all of our live videos from now on. We're going to be doing live Q&A, Ask Best Practice, Ask Kobe. We're going to turn that into a bit of a show, so we might start doing that on a weekly basis. We're just getting a few more people in the team, and I'll jump online live with you guys. I'll try and do that weekly. It'll be at random in my calendar, so you have to jump on YouTube, hit the notifications, so you've turned on the notifications to get the notifications on your mobile device when we're live on YouTube. So make sure you got the YouTube app on your mobile phone, on your cell phone, get the YouTube app, and then turn on the notifications. So any text messages, and I'm happy to call people. All right, well, I'm happy to call people right now live, and we can do a live Q&A. Okay, so the first question was section 9.3. That was from Danielle. Let me just check LinkedIn for more messages. 9.3 management review. Good morning. Let me just have a quick look at this message. Okay, answering right now. There we go. Okay, good morning. ISO 9001, section 9.3. Instead of focusing on the list as stated, what should management review cover? Excellent question. You can see that you will cover these things. So management review 9.3.2 has got a list of like inputs and outputs, but trust me, put that in front of an executive like me, and I'm going to switch off and it'll bore me to death. I want you to ask yourself 4 questions. Here's the 4 questions. Let me just find the section in the book. Management review, 4 questions. Question 1, in thinking about the next 12 weeks, what does success look like? That's the first question. If you guys are writing notes, or come back to this timestamp in the webinar. This is being recorded. It'll be available on our YouTube channel in the e-learning workshops playlist a little bit later on. Okay, where is management review in the book? ISO checklist. And then the first thing to outline, and then working on the business. Okay, here it is. It's on this page. This is what the page looks like. The questions are in the ebook. In thinking about the next 12 weeks, what does success look like? In thinking about the next 12 weeks, what could go wrong? In thinking about the last 12 weeks, what went wrong? And what are you doing about that? Those are the hardcore quarterly business review questions that every successful business, every successful organization asks. So yes, you can, in saying, what are we doing about that? Then you're going to answer those questions. In thinking about the next 12 weeks, what does success look like? In thinking about the last 12 weeks, what went wrong? In thinking about the next 12 weeks, what could go wrong? And what are we doing about that? Those are the most important questions you can ask in any business, whether you're a startup, one person, whether you've got thousands of people on a quarterly business. Those are the prompting questions for a high quality quarterly business review. So what I want you to do, that's on page 12 of our little ebook there. You can look at ISO 9001 and you can use that as a lens to run that discussion, because the outputs will be, we need to train some people, we need to get some controls in place, we need to make some changes. I want you to go through that process. So I want you to understand that that's the sort of stuff. Adam, hello, welcome. Adam, this is the kind of stuff that we're doing on a day-to-day basis, running these kinds of live events. So welcome, Adam. He's jumped on live and he's checking it out. Okay, this is your first webinar. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your comments there. Excellent. Okay, so we hold Perla, we hold QBRs with our customers, and our customers generally send us supplier report cards with additional feedback. Excellent. There's a text number there if you guys want to send a text. I'll call you back if you want to have ask your question live on air. Okay. 5.1.1 reviews leadership and commitment. Okay, let me look at that clause for you. So if you've got questions on specific clauses in ISO 9001, shoot me those. You can comment on YouTube, and I'll get to those. Comment on YouTube or shoot us a text. That number there, 0011 61 429 183 562 is the number to send a text message to. If you're in Australia, it's 0429 183 562. That's the number. It's in the comments on YouTube. Shoot me a text message, and if you want me to, I'll call you back. Have a live question. I'm going to do that from now on. So get yourselves ready for future webinars as we run these monthly. I'm going to be getting people, bringing them on live, and we'll be doing live Q&A. You guys can ask a question. 5.1.1 general. Top management shall demonstrate leadership commitment with respect to the quality management system. Take quality out and say business plan. Top management shall demonstrate commitment and leadership to the business plan. It's not rocket science. What we're talking about is the business plan. What you're doing is you're saying, is our business plan got enough information to show it's a quality system? That's all you're doing. Please don't do something separate. If you don't, there's a question there. If you don't send out surveys to customers, how do you get an effective communication with customers? Net Promoter Score. Don't send the survey out. Like look at your click rates, your open rates. I guarantee that you're going to be down around 3 to 4%, 2 to 3 to 4% is about right, Vanessa, with open rates. So if you're relying on a survey and a form, the worst thing you can, none of us like filling out forms, so please don't send your customer a form. It's just going to create friction. Maybe there's something you can add some value. Say, hey, can we have a phone call? I really value your service. I really value what you guys are doing in the future. Hey, I just want to have a conversation about how we could improve our organization to help you more in 2021, 2022. We're gearing ourselves up for growth and development. We want to help you. How can I convince the managers that the system is just overwhelmed, too many paper and still growing, but no quality management system is happening? Oscar, I'll get to that question. May I have a specific example of how you use a risk register from a metal fabrication company conforming to the risks and opportunities section of the norm? Hernando, I can help you with that. In this book, in this ebook that we're talking about today, there's a really simple risk register. It's really simple. You just write an issues list just to do, like, what are the things that could go wrong? What are the things that you want to go right? That's your start a spreadsheet if you want to do a spreadsheet, and just start writing a list and then say important, not important, important, not important, and really important. Risk management is about urgent, really important, important, not very important. Like we come up with high, medium, low risk, and people say, well, what does that mean? It's important. So you just say important, not important. If you want more categories, you say really important. If you want more categories, you say urgent. Don't make this complicated. Like consultants are creating careers to make your life a mess by giving you complicated systems of numbering and codes and levels of risk. It's important or it's not important. It's like going to cause the company to fail. It's going to kill somebody. That's important. It's going to upset a customer. Maybe you've got to make a judgment call. It's important, but it's not as important as somebody's going to kill someone. and you know, the neighbor wants something fixed. Like, don't come up with a complicated tool, just keep it really simple. COTO log with risks and opportunities is a great place for that. I agree. Just something really simple, risks and opportunities. Hey, what are some good stuff that we could do that have massive upside for the organization? Important. Let's work on that. What are some things that could go wrong that could cause us to go to jail? Important. I'll list those and our interested parties announced. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. So let me go. I said I'd go through 5.1.1, got off track. Top management shall ensure, demonstrate leadership and commitment, taking accountability for the effectiveness of the quality management system. Just got a call coming in. So I will answer his question later on. Ensure that I'll answer your questions via text. Please don't call me for those of you that have got my number. I can't take the call. So ensure the integration of the quality management system requirements into the organization's business processes. Top management need to demonstrate that commitment. Ensuring that the resources needed for the quality system are available. So setting budget for business plan, setting budgets for quarterly business reviews, you know, setting budget for a systems manager, you know, eventually. So those are how, for 5.1.1, how it's demonstrated. And really, you know, if executive leadership are just not interested in things like quarterly business reviews, participating in your external audits, if they're just not interested, then you've missed the mark. And so if you haven't got senior management buy-in, and this is a good one for you, Oscar, you've got to rebuild that bridge with senior management, with the chief executive, with the executive team in the organization. You have to build that bridge. Now, I'll tell you that they have an expectation that you look after it and they don't want it on their radar. But your role is to internally influence. Are you an internal influencer, a change agent, an end user? You know, who are you in the organization? A blocker. Different roles in terms of the chessboard in the organization. And it's your role to actually go to the chief executive and the executive team, or your boss or your report or your people in the organization, and say, look, what are the challenges that you guys have got in the next month to quarter? What are the challenges you've got in the next month to 3 months? What are the challenges? What are the big things that you're working on that are big challenges, positive or negative challenges for the organization? How can I help with that? That's the place to start. You can copy and reflect that into a quality management system, but this is where they will start to see that, hang on a minute, Oscar comes to my office once a month or once every 2 weeks and says, what are the big challenges that I've got? And then he goes away and works on them, and he comes back with some solutions and results. This is fantastic. He's a great resource. I'm getting great return on investment. It just so happens that Oscar is talking to Kobe at Best Practice, and we're working out a way to actually, you know, make that look like a management system in the background. But it's meaningful for the organization. The organization is investing in this, and it's getting a return on investment. It's really important. How can I convince the managers that the system is just overwhelmed, too many paper and still growing? Delete it. Just delete it, Oscar. Like, if they are referring to policy on a day-to-day basis, if they are reading documents on a day-to-day basis, and they're using those things on a day-to-day basis, I want you to understand that you can go through and you can delete this stuff. Like, if people aren't referring to it and they're not using it, get rid of it. It's not contributing to the success of the organization. The minimum things that you need to have, like the new ISO standard, doesn't say you have to document all this. It doesn't say that. And you just say, go to the senior management and say, I believe that all of this paper is a complete waste of money and it's no longer required. Who would like to stop doing it? And the people that fight for it and want to keep it, then you say, okay, why do you want to fight for it? Why do you want to keep it? But I would propose the motion to delete everything and start again. Follow the simple process. It's about the new assessors and the new auditors out there in the marketplace. They've got to be actually working with you to show that there's a system in place to deliver surprise and delight to your customers, not that everything's been documented. And if you have auditors coming in to your organization and telling you you have to have all these documents, put them onto me and I'll break their neck. You know, I'll threaten violence because they're ruining the industry. They're making bureaucracy, and bureaucracy doesn't help organizations move quickly and nimbly and scrappy and efficiently so that people are happy and enjoying what they're doing. Yes, of course, we all need stable foundations to work from, but there's some basic things, and it's more about routine and habit than is it about writing policy and having manuals. There's 10 operational manuals out in our library, in our office here, and they've been collecting dust for 3 years. in this organization. We don't maintain them, we don't update them because no one refers to it. But what we do here now is we focus on high performance habits. And a modern quality management system is going to focus on high performance habits. When you study high performers, athletes, musicians, artists, high corporate successful people, you will see that they've got systems and processes built into their days, habits built into their days. What we're talking about is documenting the habits of the organization that deliver success, not creating friction, like rubbing your knuckles together like this hurts. That's friction in the organization. Okay, are you familiar with AAR M103 QA system? No, I'm not. I will go and look at that straight after this session, and I can help you with that. I have seen hundreds of thousands of standards over the years. I will get it straight away, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with that specific number. So thanks, Darren, for the question. But I will. It will be easy to read. All this stuff's really easy to read. I agree, Kylie. Life is so much easier without paperwork, and I want you to be focusing on high performance. Like, I've got a book right here. I'm going to jump out of my chair for a second. Like, I have stacks of these books. High Performance Habits. Brendan Bouchard. This guy's a legend. This book is based on science, and it's about building high performance people that fit into high performance organizations. For you personally, each of you watching this right now, get this book. Get into this book. High Performance Habits. I don't get a commission on this, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copies of it on the shelf here on the library that side. I've got a library that side and a library that side for my team, because we're going to be working through this book. And what Brendan Bouchard says is, this book is all about how extraordinary people become that way. When you put those extraordinary people together in a team, they become an extraordinary organization. David Press, need a new read. Thanks. You are welcome, David. That's the book. This is the book of the year. This is the book of 2020. Brendan published this book in 2017. So it's been around for 3 years, but it's a fantastic book. There's 2 guys out there with great books. There's this one, and there's Dean Graziosi's book. I don't want you to judge a book by its cover. Dean Graziosi's book is as good as this one, but you might get scared off by the cover because it says Millionaire Success Habits. Now, I'm taking these habits that they're documenting for individual people. This is a self-help book, or a shelf help, as I like to laugh. I'm taking this stuff, and this is what we're coaching teams in organizations. We're taking the high-value principles from a person. This is focused on individual people, and putting it into a team approach, if that makes sense. So I want you to focus on that. And that is how we will then reflect back to the management system, not make a documented system that delivers. Because I guarantee you, from 25 years, I've never seen a quality management system contribute to the success of a company. I've seen it help to reflect the behaviors that take place that drive success. In my company, there's a habit of registering nonconformities for everything. Is there a good criteria to follow when registering nonconformities to products and processes? Yes, there is. Look at your contracts with your customers and look at, have you got legal requirements? And if you don't have contracts or legal requirements, get the team together and say, hey, look, it's 2020, pun intended, 2020 vision. 2020 gives us great vision. What does this non-conformance system look like in 5 years' time that becomes something exciting for us to do? Not like a policeman, that's a non-conformance. If you're making products that can cause, they're medical devices, for example, and they're going into people and you cannot have anything go wrong, the non-conformance is a signal that we need to improve. The non-conformance is like we're recording defects, if you like, and because we want to have something like, here in Australia, Toyota as a vehicle, Toyota Camry or a Toyota Land Cruiser or some Toyota Corolla, they're the different models of cars. Toyota is famous for having very high quality vehicles. And the way they do that is by recording lots of defects, but in a meaningful way. They record it and then they say, hey, we're going to have, some analysis, and we're going to, look at the number of times this happens and look at the root cause and improve that. So if your recording of lots of non-conformances drives investigation and process improvement, that's a good thing. But often it just becomes an administrative task. I often joke that when you create pigeonholes or boxes or lockers, humans like to put things in. So take the boxes away. So yeah, okay. Take those boxes away. If you put blinds over a window, I guarantee people will want to close them. If you send people emails, they'll file them. If you give people letters, they'll post them. So you want to look at how you're managed. You guys are the controllers of humanity in your organization. You need to be very careful how you deploy it. Because if all of a sudden you're effective at creating a bureaucratic step in your organization, you will put a handicap that will slow your organization down and cost money. And I see millions in billions of dollars wasted across the 2,500 companies that we're working with here at Best Practice, plus all of you guys. I see, for those of you that are not commercial clients with us, that we're not coaching or recruiting or certifying or doing audits with, you guys will have those costs as well. And part of my strategy here is I'm passionate about helping you guys to improve and looking at the key things in a quality system that drive that improvement. Okay, let me just have a quick look at the questions. I know I've missed a few. Yeah, don't issue non-conformities unless you are triggering a root cause analysis and product or service improvement. Non-conformances don't add any value just being a record. It's about driving. You've got to look at the intent. What's the intent of issuing a non-conformance or recording a non-conformance? Issuing a non-conformance is like I'm about to get punished. Recording a non-conformance, and you'll be very careful with your words. The script and the copyright, the words that we write into our management system, we have to be very careful of the implications. Issue a non-conformance is like, you've been naughty. Record a non-conformance is, we recorded a defect with our product or service, and we need to improve that. We recorded an error. The little light's going off saying something's wrong. I have to run. I get excited about quality management. I've learned quite a lot from you so far. You're very welcome. So please come back. So this gets recorded. You guys can come back to this anytime. I'm just going through the questions. The best, look, there's a couple of questions there about executives, and I get this a lot, is how do I get senior leadership and executives on board? I just speak from my experience. The best way to get my attention is to anticipate something that is a challenge for me as an executive. So anticipate a challenge for your executive by watching them closely, look where they need help, and then anticipate and help them before they ask for that help. That will build value, and then show them that you delivered that value using the management system. Then they'll go, oh my God, this management system is useful. Actually, you know what? That's my word of the week. I said this on Friday, useful. Don't do things that aren't useful. There's useful and useless. Most of the stuff that we're doing is useless. It's not useful for anybody. That's the question of the day. There's the value for everybody. There's the TikTok for the day. If you're not following us on TikTok, you don't know what TikTok is, we're doing this advice now live on TikTok. We're getting hundreds of thousands of views on stuff. The question of the day, stop doing stuff that is useless for other people. Do stuff that is useful. You're going to see that on TikTok. Luke's recording it right now. So with your management system, as you go through ISO 9001 and you're building things, you're creating things, quarterly business reviews, useful. Recording non-conformances, excuse me, can be useful. Recording a non-conformance can be useful. Issuing a non-conformance to somebody, is it useful for them? No, it's not. It might create frustration. It might make someone angry. They might be upset. You're just creating friction in your organization. Don't build things that upset your culture. Improve your culture. Is it useful? Useful, useless. Lots of documents, useless. No one reads them. Management review, useful. Customer survey, net promoter score, useful. You guys giving me a rating out of 10. A rating out of 10 is great. That strokes my ego. And trust me, I've got an enormous ego. But giving me a 9 or an 8 or a 7 is useful. Giving me a 2, I'm like, something going wrong with you, because I know I'm doing great stuff. Okay, some LinkedIn messages coming through. Okay, what's this one here? Let me just quickly check. Okay, yes, correct. Just there a question about getting stuff out there. So don't try and make everything perfect. the question was, do I need to make everything perfect before I put it out there? No, that's why we have versions, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. This is an iPhone 11. You know, the iPhone 3 was good, but compare an iPhone 3 to an iPhone 11, so version 11. Like, that's what happens. Different new model of car, new model of phone, new model of microphone. You know, these microphones are amazing. The first one was horrible. So these new microphones, the Shure microphones, they're absolutely fantastic. Listen to our podcast, the Kobe Simmet audio experience. You want to listen to this again as a podcast? Luke will have it out by the end of tomorrow. You will be available on your favorite podcast platform. This whole thing has been recorded. We've got the audio. You can watch it. You can watch it. You can listen to it on your commute. So if you want to go back over and listen to this again, there's 20-something episodes of stuff. I personally listen to all my podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Cast. They're all there. So any of your favorite podcast platforms, we post all of those platforms. Okay, we've just hit the hour mark. Are there any questions about specific clauses of the standard? The links are there in the comments. We'll send an email out to everybody that registered to where you can get a copy of this ebook. It's absolutely fantastic. It's all my value. It's really short and simple. I just wanted to consolidate it and give it to you guys so that, you know, if you guys have got the financial barrier, you can't afford the $25, $30, $50, $100,000 consultant to help you with this project, you can just access for $200 this ebook, and it's all my gold. It's the playbook that I use for a project. So if you want me to come in and help your organization, I have a team of 50 people here. I'm the CEO of a team of 50 people. Here at Best Practice. We're in Best Practice headquarters. We're right near Manly in Sydney, Australia. If you ever want to come and visit, come visit. But if you're ever in Australia, reach out to us. But what I just want you to know is that this playbook that we've put together, buy it, don't buy it, no big deal. You can stitch a lot of stuff together from our YouTube channel because I hope I'm helping you guys. But I just want you to be aware that please just follow that process, because it's that process in that order that will get you the most success as quickly as possible. So please do that. Are there any questions on clauses? Okay. A couple of things. Bit of housekeeping. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn. The platform is exploding. My handle is @KobeSimmat. If you can't send me a connection invitation because you need an email address, it's really simple. Kobe@simmat.com.au. You can Google my name. We've got a massive digital footprint. If you need the email address, Kobe@simmat.com.au. That'll let you send the connection invitation if you can't connect with me. You can send me a direct message on LinkedIn. That's the best place to ask me questions. Vanessa's had the text number there. That number's not monitored all of the time, but in future webinars, we're going to be bringing people on and doing live Q&A so that you guys can ask your questions, and that's going to give me the ability to respond. Appreciate everybody with your questions there. If you haven't got a TikTok account yet, it's a bit of fun. Go and get yourself on and follow us on TikTok. Beware, it's an addictive platform, and there are many hours of your life that you'll never get back. But if you guys are keen on social media, we do a lot of social media posting, a lot of content, so bestpractice.biz on LinkedIn, the bestpractice.biz website, which is here on my shirt. So lots of new t-shirts here, so I'm promoting the website, and lots of great content coming out. So if you need help, the 2020 Vision Business Summit's coming up 26th and 27th of February in Sydney, Australia. It's an annual event. It's our biggest event of the year. We've got some amazing speakers. You can check that out at bestpractice.biz/2020 vision. And Vanessa's going to post that link for us just quickly now. It's there already. So if you look at the comments on YouTube, you'll see the link to the online website there. So bestpractice.biz/2020 vision. You may need to type that. I can't see that link there. Okay, right. So you can see that there. So Vanessa's helping me. I want a massive shout out to Vanessa. She's almost single-handedly organized this enormous event, and she's wrangling people from all over the world to this particular event to speak and visit and attend, and hotels and accommodation and parties and awards. We've got, I think there's about 12 companies that are all being nominated for the 2020 Best Practice Awards. Hello, Ellie. Welcome. And Barbara. So thanks for joining us today. As always, I've enjoyed it. This is my ideal scene. The only thing that would make this better is if I was sitting up, but there's microphones and podcasts and everything going on. So standing up, I apologize. So we'll do that next time. A little bit more energy from me, and lots going on. So I'm going to go right now. So if you don't see me out and about, if you don't see me at the 2020 Vision Business Summit, you'll definitely see me right here next time on Best Practice TV. Let us know where you watched from. Let us know if you've got any feedback. The comments there are still flying. I'll monitor the comments. I've got to go jump in a car and head to a meeting. So we're going to go get in an Uber and we're going to be recording some of that. So you will see weekly on our YouTube channel right here, the behind the scenes of everything going on at Best Practice. I've got some jokes for everybody, so I'm going to be recording some jokes. Everybody's welcome. Martin, you're welcome. Barbara, you're welcome. Hernando, you're welcome. No worries. The next Q&A, please send those text messages and I will respond. I will call you back. So I will call you from that phone and we'll bring those live Q&As. So look out for that. We'll try and do a live next week in the lead up to the summit. I will be posting live from our summit on the 26th and 27th of February. For you guys in the United States, that'll be the 25th because we are a day earlier than you in our time zone. So it'll be about this time on the 25th of February. It will be kicking off, and I'll do some live posting from the event, which is really exciting. It's an enormous thing. So welcome from the Philippines, people from all over the world. So that's absolutely excellent. So if you've got questions, we've got the live chat on our website. You can always reach out to us. You can always, you're welcome, Jenny. You can always reach out to us here at Best Practice. If you need an ISO certification company to do your ISO 9001 certificate, Best Practice is the brand. That's us. Reach out to us. If you have got an ISO 9001 auditor certification, this is us. This is what we do. We have a recruitment company. If you need winning and amazing talent for your business, Best Practice Talent. And if you want a team of people to come in and educate you and coach you and get you through this process really painlessly, then Next Practice are there for you. There's a Next Practice coaching team. So thanks very much, David. Welcome from Tube Mail up there. Comment there. You've got like-minded people. You're all doing the same thing there in the comments. Everybody watching today, 150 people, you're all doing the same sort of stuff. So if you've got comments, you can help each other. I can help you. This is your opportunity to network. You're all doing the same thing at different organizations, which is I congratulate you all for investing the time today, joining us, and really investing in yourselves to learn. Let's take that to the next level, make this efficient, and really help your organizations grow and improve. So that's it for me. I'm signing off. I'm running out of breath. I'm going to drink my cold coffee. I started a coffee at the beginning. I got my black coffee there. It looks like it's just black cold syrup now. So we'll get into that. So if you have got questions, I'll monitor the comments for the next couple of hours. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, comment yes or no. Give me a score out of 10. Give me some 6s and 7s and 8s. I don't want 10s. Give me the score from 0 to 10. How likely are you to refer Best Practice in the YouTube channel? How likely are you to use us for ISO certification or some support with our coaching team or some support with our recruitment team? And I want to know what I can do to improve, because this is here for you. Give me that feedback. If you want us to do stuff, I appreciate the 10s. Thank you, David. I know I'm a solid 10, but I want the feedback. This is for you. Is this the right platform? Is this the right medium? What can I do more to help you guys? Give me that feedback for 2020. Hang on, we've got a question. Okay, there is some minimal level of documentation. Just had a BP stage 1 audit. Have a list of documentation to prepare as long as my arm. Don't quite get how this fits with your comments. I need to look into that. So I appreciate that text message. I'm going to call you. Okay, Andrew, I will give you a call about that. You shouldn't have a list of documentation as long as your arm. I need to look into that. So I'll call and speak to you about that, because someone's not on message. So Andrew, I'm going to call you shortly. So I've got your message. Okay, any other questions? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get on with this, and I will see you soon right here on Best Practice TV. Bye for now.